So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name is Akonde Emila. So today's tutorial is going to be learning how to cut a basic bodice block from the Natalie Gray, and we'll be making ours in inches. We're converting this from cm to inches. Okay, so if you look at this here, this is the table measurements and proportions, okay, that is there in the book. So this is what we'll be using in guiding our measurements. Okay, so to explain now, because some people do not know what this means and how they're going to use it. Okay, so this is where I come in right now. You see this divide, this point here, this line here, this is to separate the proportion table from the measurement. Okay, so now in this table here, in this table, the important thing we need here is the proportion. So now, for us to be able to identify for us to be able to know which person's size of, like, what your size, in which proportion you're going to use here on this table, this is where the bust come in, okay, in the measurement. So now, for us to know the proportion of a size, you need your bust measurement, okay? So now this is in cm, right? Okay, this measurement now is in cm. So let's assume your bust is of a bust 100. You don't need the hip, the waist, the length. You don't need these ones in the table. You're going to be getting your own measurements too in order to graft yours. Okay, so for us to now know the proportions, because this proportion is what we'll be using to graft our pattern. Okay, so you get your bust measurements, and when you see your bust measurements on this table here, on this bust measurements table column, on this bust measurements column, okay, so if your bust is 100, now your on your proportion table, your point O or the CV is going to be 3.5. Okay, on the proportion table, your back neck width is going to be 7.5, and your depth of arm O is going to be 22.5 cm. Okay, so all these I've been measuring now is that all this I've been mentioning is in cm. So when you convert 3.5 cm into, when you convert 3.5 cm into converting 3.5 cm into inches is this. You go to the back of your tape, you fold in that 3.5, and when you turn it back, we have 138 here. Okay, we have 138 inches. Okay, so I'm sorry for if you guys don't really understand how to take measurements, how I take my measurement, but that's going to be in one of our next videos, okay, on how to use your measuring tape. Okay, so 3.5 is 138. Okay, so your point O for the 100 cm bust is 138. Okay, so these are the measurements. This is how we're going to be using the measurements. Okay, so now there's something else we need to address. If your bust measurement is not on this line, okay, let's assume your bust measurement now is bust 102. Okay, that's 102 cm. Okay, let's assume your bust is 102. This is your bust circumference measurement, 102, right? But on this table now, there is no 102 on it. We only have 100. Okay, we have 84, 88, 92, 96, 100, 104, 108, 112, 116. Okay, so now as we all see, there is no 102 there. Okay, so what you'll be doing is you will check the immediate next number, that is upwards, not downwards. You will not reduce your bust size, no, you will increase it. So if your bust measurement is not here, the next figure, the next measurement on this table, that's when you are increasing it. So you're not going to decrease it, but if you decrease it, you are reducing your size. Okay, so you go in for the next higher figure. Okay, so the next one now here, if you are following me, is, since our bust here is 102 and 102 is not here, so the next number is 104. Okay, so now we use 104 to get your proportion measurement here on this table. Okay, so I just want to know if you get it clear. Okay, so yeah, so now once we've gotten that, okay, so the next thing is, if your measurement at all is not in the table, this is where it comes in, right? If your measurement is not in the table, okay, you're going to have to grade it using the sequence. There's a sequence in which they've been using to grade all this. In how we got 84, the next one was 88, the next one 92. If you follow, there's a sequence in it. Even on the proportion table as well, we have what is called a sequence. We have 4, we have 4.5, we have another 4.5, the next one will be 5. Okay, on the back neck width also we have 8, we have 8.5, 8.5 again, the next one is going to be, okay. So I just want to know that if your bust measurement is not on this table, there is so you want to grade yours now, that you want to have, like, okay, look at this measurement. This is the example here. If you see now, this table stops at bust 116 cm. Okay, this is where the table stops. So now your bust is bigger than this. Okay, that's your bust measurement is bigger than this 116 cm. So the sequence that is here, that is being used on this bust measurement, is a difference of 4 cm. Okay, so if you look now, 84, the next one was 88, if you look at it, 88 and 84 has a difference of 4 cm. From 92 to 88, which is the next one, there's a difference of 4 cm. Okay, so if you look at this on number 9 now, we have 112 cm. The next one was 116 cm. That is a difference of 4 cm. So now, for us to keep getting the next measurement and next measurement, that if you want to increase your table, that is fine by you. Okay, so the next one will be 120, because if you add 4 cm to 116, we'll be having 120. Okay, so now all these other parts are not necessary, as I told you, because these ones will be using your own measurements. Okay, so 120 now, for us to get our proportion table measurements. Okay, if you follow on point O CB, if you look at it, there's a pattern to it. Okay, the pattern here now is 2.5, 3, 3, 3.5. Okay, if you look at it, there is an increase of 0.5 cm, but there's also a pattern to that increase. It comes like this: when you have your point that's 2.5, you put your next whole number, and that whole number you put it again in the next one. Then you now go to you now add the 0.5 cm to it. So you'll be doubling it. That's the easiest way I can say. You'll be doubling the figures. So on the bust 120 now that we are grading. Okay, so the back neck width, if you check, let's check the if we are checking the difference or the amount we added, it's also 0.5 cm. Okay, but there's also a sequence to it, which is they are doubling the numbers. Okay, they doubled 8 here, they doubled 8.5, so the next one is going to be 9. If you are also getting, if you are making for 124, this one is also going to be 9. Then it's 128, it will be 9.5. 142, it will be 9.5 as well. So I just want you to know that there's a sequence to it, but for the proportion table they were increasing it by 0.5 cm. Okay, so now for the armhole here, that this is the last measurement on the table here. This one was being increased by 4 cm. Wait, let's check it. No, sorry. The armhole was being increased by 2 cm. So the armhole now being increased by 2 cm, because we have 48 and we have 50 next. Then we have 52 next. Okay. So the next one here for this was 120 cm is going to be 54. Okay. So I'll go ahead and write that down as 54. Okay. So yeah. So this now is the gateway for us to get our measurements. Okay. So this table now, the important thing you need is your bust measurement in order to get your proportion measurements here on the table. Okay, so I've already taught you how to grade your measurements here. Okay, in case your own is not on the column. Okay, so yeah, so now taking our measurements for us to get our own proportion that we'll be using to draft our pattern now. Okay, so the bust measurement here is 43, the waist 36, hip 46 and half. We're using inches now, by the way. Okay, so finding our point O now, this is what I am telling you about. Our bust measurement being 43 inches. This is 43 inches. Okay, 43 inches. I'll go ahead and fold my tape in order to mark 43 inches. And if you turn it over, what we have here is the nearest we have there is 109. Okay, the nearest we have there is 109 and 109.5. Okay, so now, like I said earlier, if your bust measurement is not here, what you're going to do is you choose the next higher number on this format, on this column. Okay, so now my own bust, which is 43, is 109 and half. Okay, 109.5 cm. Okay, so we go to the column now. There's 108, right? But now mine is 109.5 cm. So the next higher number here is 110. So this now is my own, this column now, this row is my own proportion table. So now my proportion are within 4.5. Okay, so yeah. So now I'm going to be showing you how to turn this proportion table into inches. Okay, so now for the proportion that we're using to grab this pattern, the point O here for my own is number 9, which is the proportion. The point O is 4.5 cm now. Okay, so to change 4.5 cm into inches, I have 1/3. Okay, so my point O is 1/3. So I don't know if you are following. So now my back neck width coming to proportion table, we have 8.5 cm. Okay, go ahead and measure 8.5, and I'll have 3/1/4. Okay, 3/1/4. This is my back neck. Now for the depth of armhole, we come to where I am, which is 24. We'll go ahead looking for 24 on the cm and we'll fold it. Okay, and we have 9/8 for the depth of armhole. 9/8. Okay, for the back underarm point, Okay, so now for the back underarm point, which is UK here, that's what it stands for. My own proportion under the back underarm point is 7 centimeters. Okay, so we converted 7 centimeters into cm and have 2 3/4. Okay, so this is 2 3/4. For the that now, my proportion here is 10 inches. It's 10 centimeters. So converting 10 centimeters to inches is 4 it's 378, but let's round it up to 4 inches. Okay, so the armhole is 50 centimeters. 50 centimeters. Okay, so we have 19.58. Okay, when we convert 50 centimeters to into cm, we have 19 into inches. We have 19.58. Okay, so this is the proportion. Okay, this is my own proportion I'll be using to draft this pattern now. Okay, so now for our measurements, we'll be writing down our measurements in half and in quarter. So the bust is 43, right? 43 in half is 21 and half. Okay, 43 in quarter is 10 3/4. So waist 36 in quarter is 9 inches. Hip 46.5 in quarter is 11.58. Now the back width is 17 inches. 17 in half is 8.5 inches. The chest width is 16 inches. 16 in half is 8 inches. Okay, so this is the measurement. Okay, so now let's go ahead into the drafting of the pattern. So now before we start drafting our pattern, in order for us to get our paper measurements, by the pattern measurement, we use to grab the front and back. This is how we're going to do it. You take your bigger measurements. That take your biggest measurement. That if your waist or your hip or bust in between between the three of them, the one that is bigger for you, like for me now, my hip is the biggest among these three measurements. Okay, so I will take that measurement now and I will get half of it. When I get half of that measurement, okay, so for me now my own is the hip measurement. Okay, so I'll get half of my hip measurement plus 1 1/4 inches. Okay, plus 1 1/4 inches, then plus 2 inches. Now these 2 inches is for the margin that I'll be drawing now. Okay, so half of my hip measurement is what do we call it? Half of the hip measurement is 23 something. Let's check it out. Half of my hip measurement is 23 1/4. Okay, plus 1 1/4, that is 25 and 24 and a half. That is 24 and a half. Now 24 and a half plus 2 inches is 26 and a half. Okay, so this is it. Can you see this is my 26 and a half? Okay, so yeah, and for the length, just go ahead and use the length you want to use. But for me, I'm using length. I measured length 30 because this upper part still needs for me this pattern is of the length 30. Okay, you can use 28, 27 if you're on the taller side. The length I use 30, but a standard length you can use is 75 cm, which is 28 point something. Okay, so from that length you take 1 inch for your top line, and at this part we added 2 inches for margin. Okay, so you put 1 inch here and 1 inch at the other side. That is for our margin. Okay, so now for us to start drafting from this top line here, from top line, this is our top line. Okay, from this line we're going to be marking our point O. So now it goes like this. I'm coming on the CB line. Okay, mark point O, which is for my own point O, my measurement is 1 3/4. Okay, so on this CB line, mark point O from the top line. Okay, so once you've marked that point O, you are now going to be marking your next vertical measurement from this point O line. Okay, so from point O now, I'll mark my waist, my length to waist measurement. Actually, yes, I'm marking my length to waist, that's my back length to waist measurement, and mine is 15 inches. Okay, so this is 15 inches, and from this 15 inches I'll be marking my hip line, which is 10 and a half. Okay, so this is the hip line, 10 and a half. So now For to get our bust line now, to get our bust line, we'll be marking our armhole depth. Okay. So now to mark the armhole depth, we'll not be marking the armhole depth from this top line. No, we'll be marking it from point O. This is point O. Okay, this is point O. So now our armhole depth as per our proportion measurement for my own is 938. Okay, so I'll be marking my 938. Okay, so I'm marking my 938. So now what I'll be doing is these lines I'll be going ahead to connect it to make an horizontal line, which is the waistline, the hip line, and the bust line. Okay, so yeah. Okay, but before we do that, to get our back line now, we'll measure from point O all the way to this bust line, which is our armhole depth. We'll measure that and we'll mark what we'll divide it in two. Or yes, so we have 938 here. So we'll be dividing that into two. So this is our back line, and that is 458. Okay, so this is our back line, this is our bust line, the waistline, and the hip line. So now I'll go ahead and increase my. I'm going to go ahead and connect this line all the way to the center front. I'm connecting my bust, waist, and hip line all the way to the center front. Okay, and to do that, from this top line, I'll measure out what my bust line is, and from the top line, my bust line is 1078 and my waistline is 16 and a half. Okay, so I'll go ahead and measure that. Bust line, my waistline, and the hip line. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So now, after extending all those things now, on the back line, which is this, okay, which is the third line from the on the back line, we're going to be marking half of our back width measurement. So half of it is 8.5. Okay, so 8.5. Okay, so after marking half of our back width measurements now, on this same 8.5 we marked here, okay, this same 8.5 we marked on the back line, we'll go ahead and mark it on the bust line and on the shoulder line. Okay, get our shoulder line now. Okay, we'll be marking 1/4 from point O and extend all this. That should give us our shoulder line. Okay, so point O we have 1/3. Sorry for there was an interruption. All this process, it was because there was no light. Okay, so let me run you through what I did so far. Okay, so what I did so far was I extended my point O line. Okay, and how I got this line here is my shoulder line. So how I got my shoulder line was from point O line. Now from this point O, I came down by 1/4 inch, that is 3 cm, and this is a fixed measurement for all sizes. Okay, so after that now, to get our back neck width measurement, go through our proportion table and picking your size. So now my back neck width measurement is 3/1/4. Okay, so from CB, on the CB line now, I'll measure out my 3/1/4. Okay, so this is how I got my 3 1/4. So when I on that 3 1/4 now, I'll go up by 3/4 inch. This also is a fixed measurement for all sizes. Okay, so now on the shoulder line, the half of our back line measurements. So our measurement on our back line, which I already said earlier on, is half of our back measurement, which in my case is 8.5. I extended this line all the way to the shoulder point, and I also extended it to the vertically. I extended the line to the bust point as well. Okay, so now on the shoulder point, at the shoulder point here, we'll be increasing it by 3/4 inch. This 3/4 inch is also a fixed line. So I don't know if you are getting me. The 3/4 inch is also a fixed line. So yeah, so I came out here by 3/4 inch, and I came up here also by 3/4 inch. These are fixed lines. So I'll be connecting my neck curve like so. I've connected my neck curve. So from this neck point here, I'll connect it all the way to my shoulder point. Okay. So this is how we derived at where we are now. So now on the bust line, from this half back measurement, we'll be marking our back underarm point. So go through your proportion table, choose your own specific size, specific measurements. So my own is 2 3/4. So yeah, this is how I've gotten all this so far now. Okay. So the next thing we'll be doing is using your curved ruler. On the ruler there, look for a 45-degree angle and mark it down like so. So this is a 45-degree angle. And mark out 1/4 inch. Okay. So you mark out 1/4 inch. Okay, so using our French curve now, from all the way to the shoulder point, touching the back measurement, and all the way through this 1/4 inch, and we'll be stopping at our bust, our back underarm. Okay, so this is how we go. Okay, so you see how we made this armhole now. Okay, so next thing is to get our hip line. We're going to get in quarter of our hip measurement. Okay, so that is, you divide your hip by 4, and in our measurements here, our quarter of our hip measurement is 11.58. Okay, so coming here, I'll mark 11.58. If you want ease, you can add ½ inch for ease. Okay, so that is totally dependent on you now. Okay, so after marking this, we're going to be connecting it straight all the way to the bust line. Okay, so we'll connect it straight all the way to the bust line like so. I will be using a dotted line because this is still not our final destination. Okay, so after that, on the waistline now, we'll come in by 3/4 inches. Okay, I will connect all the way to the bust line and also all the way to the hip line. Okay, The reason I'm connecting it all the way to my back line is because I want a better shape for the back. Okay, so yeah, we connected it like that, then we connect it back all the way to this line. Like so. Okay, so you see this now. Okay, so now before we reach the front pattern, we need to address our shoulder length. In order to get our actual shoulder length, start to be larger when you make your pattern, okay, and cut it out. So check the measurement on the shoulder seam. Be an average of 3/4 or ½ inch longer than the shoulder measurement. Okay. Okay. Now lengthen or shorten your shoulder if necessary, and keep your shoulder point on the same level that is on the shoulder line. Okay. So now we measure our shoulder slope or shoulder distance here. So we have 6 3/4. So we have 6/8, and our shoulder line is 5 inches. Okay. Now to address if your shoulder length is longer or shorter than your measurement, your shoulder measurement, this is what you do. You check it, and if you see if it's shorter, if it is longer than what you need, this is how you address it. Okay. So you take a ruler and you increase the length of your shoulder line. You increase the length. So if this line is long, if this line is shorter than what your shoulder measurement length is, you go ahead and from this point here, take your tape and you mark, you measure out your measurement. So let's assume this is your measurement. So you go ahead and reshape or redraw this line. Okay. So if it is shorter now, if as you can see, this line now is shorter as okay. Now that's what if this line is shorter. Okay. So now if this line is bigger than your normal shoulder measurement, this is how you shorten it. For me now, this is 6/8 and my shoulder measurement is 5 inches. Okay. Video keeps cutting short. So let me just run you through what happened again. So while we figured out that the normal armhole which we got now is longer than my normal armhole measurement. Okay, so to shorten now, I'll be placing my measuring tape at the neck point and I'll be marking out my correct armhole measurement and I'll be redrawing it. Okay, so one thing I also failed to mention earlier before was when we were bringing out this 1 1/4 inch for the armhole, because we're supposed to come down 1 1/4 inch below the back line as well. This is for our armhole to sit well on our hand, on our armhole side. Okay, so we connect it from here to here and all the way to this part. Then we connect from here to here. Okay, so this is how it is. And to get our waist shaping, we're going to be coming in from the waist line here by 3/4 inch and to connect straight to the bust line and to the hip line. So this is how I got what I got. Okay, so now we have our front pattern now. Because we already have our bust, waist and hip line. So the only line we need to bring out for us to have now is our chest line, shoulder line, and the line for the base of the neck. This is our point O, and this is our CF. Okay, and this line here is our CF. So let me just make this CF line more visible. Okay, so my video got cut again, but I'm back. So what I was doing was I made the CF line, the center front line, more visible. Okay, so let me explain to you what we've done so far. Okay, so this is our point O now. So for our point O, to get our front shoulder line, okay, from point O, we're coming down by 4 cm, which is 1½ inches. That we use 1½ inches for bigger size, or you come down by 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so we come down by 1 3/4, 1½ inches for our front shoulder line. Okay, and to get the base of the neckline, we're coming down by 3/1/8. Okay, so coming down now by 3/1/8. To get our this line here is our chest line. To get the chest line now from the bust line here, the armhole line here, we'll come up by 4 cm, which is also 1½ inches. Okay, so that's what we've done so far. Okay, so what we're doing now is this. Okay, so as we've marked out all these things, is on the top line from point O, we mark our neck width the same as our back neck width to become our neck point and take the measurement of the baseline to connect to the straight. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and check our back neck width. Our back neck width is 3/1/4. Okay, back neck width now is 3/1/4. So for us to get the neck width from front, we are going to have to be, marking the same thing. Okay, so we mark the 3 to get our back neck width. Okay, and we square it out. Okay, so we're going to be making our neck rectangle or square, however I want to call it. Okay, so now we'll be getting the angle 45 on our neck line. I will come up by 118 or 138 for a bigger size. This is 118. Okay, I will not draw our neckline curve. Okay, so to draw the neckline curve now, this is how to do it. To get our neckline curve, we'll go ahead and join here, here, and here. This is our neckline curve now. This is the shoulders. So now the next step is on our front shoulder line, which is this. Okay, our front shoulder line now from the CF. This is the center line. From the center line, 6.5 inches for all sizes. This is a constant. So using from the center line now, we're marking 6.5 on our shoulder line, and this is a constant for all sizes. Okay. So this is a constant for all sizes, which is 6.5. So now from the neck point, which is this, passing through from the neck point, passing through the new points marked on the shoulder line, we'll be connecting and extending the line. Okay, so from here up to here, we'll connect this line together and we'll extend the line because this is our guide point now. Okay, so once we've extended the line, we're going to be marking half of our chest width on the bust line and come down by 3/4 inch. So now on the bust line here, which is this, we'll be marking half of our chest width. Okay, and on the line there now, we'll come down to 1/4. Now from here now, I'll be taking it straight all the way to the top line. Okay, so on the second side, I'll go ahead and measure what we have here back on the top line. I will connect straight away, and I'll be connecting it to the dotted line. Okay. Okay, so after connecting like so, using dotted line. So from this dotted line here, we'll be coming towards the left side of this shoulder slant. We'll be coming out by 3/4 inch, and we'll be connecting it straight to the bust line. To this 3/4 inch below the bust line. Okay, we'll connect like so. So after connecting like so now, going to our proportion table now, we're checking our dart measurements, and on this slant line, we're marking our dart width. Okay, my dart width is 4 inches. I will connect straight all the way back to this line. Okay. So this is the dart line for it. Okay, so now our shoulder slope. That's our shoulder. We measure our back shoulder slope, and what we have there, we use it to get the front shoulder slope. Okay. So this is it. After we've gotten our shoulder measurement on the chest line, this is the chest line. First of all, let's extend the line. Okay, so on the chest line now, we're going to be getting our chest measurements. We get half of our chest width, and yeah, so we'll be getting half of our chest width. So now there are the two ways we can do this because there's a dart in between. So you can either get half of your chest width and bypass the dart, continue getting your measurement, or you get your chest width measurement, you add the dart allowance and you add everything all together. Those are the two ways you can do this. Okay, chest width is 17.5. 17.5. Half of it is 8.75. Okay, so after marking that down, we'll go ahead and connect. We'll now name this place CHP. So this is our chest point. I'll go ahead and connect the chest point to the shoulder point. To the shoulder point, like so. Okay, so the next thing now is on our armhole line or bust line. This measurement we have here. Oh, I forgot to add my dart measurement. Okay, so we have 3/4. Okay, so this measurement we have from here to here, go ahead and repeat it because we have to connect this line straight away. Okay, so go ahead and create a line like so. Okay, so now to get our front bust width, this is the formula we'll be using to get the front bust width. Okay, so to get the front bust width, we'll be using half we'll be using half of our bust. Listen, we're using half bust, okay, plus 2 inches, then minus the back bust width, okay. So half of our bust measurement is 21 and a half, okay. 21 and a half plus 2 inches is 23. It's 23.5. So now we'll be getting our back bust, okay. So what we have on the back bust line is 11 points. We have 11 creates, okay. So 23 and a half minus 11 8 is 12.18, okay. So our front bust is 12.18, okay. So that is 12.18, and this will now become our underarm point UP, okay. So now to get our front armhole curve, this is what we'll be doing, okay. To get our front armhole curve from the shoulder point to the CHP, the chest underarm point, and the chest point, we'll measure what we have there and mark half of it. We have 6.25, and we'll be marking, we'll be getting 3.18, okay. That 3.18 now will come out by 1 cm, which is the 8 inches. Will come out by 1 cm of the 8 inches, okay. And at this point, at this angle here, that's the angle perpendicular to the chest point, will be coming up by 5/8 inches, okay. We'll come up by 5/8 inches, and we'll connect from the chest, from the shoulder point all the way to the midpoint, to the chest underarm point, to this point, and to the underarm point, okay. So like this. So this is our armhole. This is our armhole curve, okay. So now after getting the armhole curve, now the next thing we'll be doing is to get our hip point, okay. So the formula for getting our hip point is quarter hip plus 1 inches minus 1/4, okay. So quarter of our hip measurement is 11.58, okay, plus 1 inch, that is 12.58. Now 12.58 now minus 1/4, okay, 11 and a half, okay. So I'll be marking 11 and a half at the hip point, like so, okay. So I will now connect from the underarm point all the way to the hip point. I'll be connecting using dotted lines, okay. So once I'm done connecting, like so, to get our front waist shaping, okay, we'll be coming in on the waistline by 5/8 inches, okay. We're coming in by 5/8 inches. So now to get our true front waist, any size from the bust size 36, any size from the bust size 36, which is also 92, centimeters, any bust size from that 92 centimeters, we'll be using from a 2 to 2.5 cm, 2 to 2.5 cm, okay. That is what you use to get your true bust, line, okay, and to get your true waistline, to get our true waistline. So from this waistline here now, we'll be coming down from by that 2.5, which is 3/4 inches, or 1 inch, okay, because you either use 2 cm or use 2.5 cm, okay. We'll come down by that, and on this waist shaping here that we got on this one here, so on this line here, we'll come down by 3/8 inches or 1 cm, okay. We'll also come down on the back waist as well. We'll be coming down by 3/8 inches or 1 cm, okay. So we'll now be connecting this 1 cm to that true waistline there, like so. We'll be connecting like so, okay. I will connect this straight to the bust, to the hip line, okay. So now on the back waistline, we already came in by 1/4 inch from the center back in order to get our back waist shaping. Okay, our center back waist shaping, and we will now already gotten our side waist shaping as well. So that from this 3/8 inches that we came down at the waist, we'll be connecting it all the way to the waist point at the center back. Okay, so we'll be connecting it all the way like this. Okay, so now coming back to the front now. Coming back to the front, we'll be placing 1/4 of our chest width, which is 4.3 in our case. We're placing it on our true waistline. We're placing it on our true waistline. Okay, so now to get our true bust line, because this is our underarm point. Okay, so to get our true bust line, it is usually 1.5 inches down from our bust line. Okay, so what we'll be doing is we'll be coming down 1.5 inch from the bust line to get our true bust line. I will roll. I will connect. Okay, so this is our true bust line. True bust, and this is our true waist. Okay, so after that is done now, what we'll be doing is to finalize our shoulder, that we'll be creating a crease on the shoulder leg, like I'm doing. I will fold it. So after doing that, from this neck point here that we have up here, we'll connect a slant line all the way to the shoulder point in order to create our new shoulder. Okay, so after doing this, still holding the paper, we will now go ahead and use our tracing wheel to trace out this measurement. Okay, so after tracing out using our tracing, we'll go ahead now and use a marker to define the lines. Okay, so this is our new shoulder, and yeah, get our waist that the front waist that allowance is going to be 1.5 inches, while the back waist that is going to be 1 inch. The back waist that is going to be 1 inch. Okay, so after on our that point here, we come out 1.5 inch divided by 2 is 3/4. So we're taking 3/4 on both sides. Okay, so this is our that allowance for the front. Okay, to get your waist. Okay, so now, and the length of the dart from our true bust line will come down by 5/1/8. Okay, coming down by 5/1/8. This is the length of this dart. So from this point now, measure what we have, 4.3. I will connect. So we'll connect from. Okay, so this is the dart length for the down, and for the dart leg above the waistline now, we come up by 4.75. Okay, so coming up by 4.75 now. This is it. We'll go ahead and shape this as well. Okay, so now we finished drafting the front part. Okay, so moving to the back now, to draft our dart. Okay, you take your measurements and you check your back width. Okay, you check quarter of the back width. What you have there is going to be your back dart. Okay, so my quarter is this. I'll go ahead and mark starting from this waist shaping here. Okay, so and you mark it on the true waistline, this slanted line at the back. Okay, so now to extend this line upwards and down, that's create our center line for the dart. I'll go ahead and measure from this CB line now. From the CB line, I'll measure what I have from the CB line all the way to my dart length, and which I have 5.5 here, and I'll just go ahead and do this. Okay, so for the front now, the front dart leg, I'll be increasing it by 5.18. It will increase by 5.18, and for the back dart length, I'll be increasing it. The length is 5.78. Okay, 578. Okay, so what we'll be doing now is to connect both lines like so. Okay, so now to know the amount of allowance we're using for our darts, okay, so we measure our waistline, which is this slant line here. We measure it, and you know quarter of your waist. My case is 9 inches, and I have 10 inch here, so I'll be taking half inch on both sides. So my dart allowance is 1 inch. Okay, do you understand? So I'll go ahead and connect. Okay, I'll go ahead and connect like so. So coming all the way now to the shoulder, back shoulder. Remember we talked about shortening and lengthening our shoulder slope. Okay, so if your shoulder slope, if you had found that your shoulder slope was longer than what it was supposed to be, okay, we already fixed this. We have fixed our issues here that we have with this one. Okay, so what we'll be doing now is to get our shoulder dart. Okay, this shoulder dart now is going to be taking away unnecessary allowance that was not supposed to be there. Okay, so the shoulder slant I'm using is 5.5. Okay, and I have 6 inches, and I have 6 to 8 inches. Okay, so before I go ahead and place my shoulder, place the dart here. For us to know the dart placement, this is what I'll be doing. I'll go ahead to the front side now. I'll go ahead to the front, and before from our neck point, I'll measure to where the dart leg starts. Okay, from this is the neck point, and I'll measure all the way to this dart leg. Okay, so I have 1.5 here. Okay, so this is where our second dart leg stops, and this is the dart shoulder dart 5.5. You understand? Okay, so now this distance, which is 1.5, is the distance that I'll be using. Is the distance I'll be using to get our dart positioning. Okay, so I'll be marking 1.5 here for the distance positioning, and our shoulder is 5.5, and we have 6.6. We have 3.8. 5.5 to 3.8. This should be like 1 inch. 1, 2, 3. This is a total of 1 inch. So after this 1.5 placing, okay, we'll go ahead now and mark 1 inch. This is our shoulder dart distance. Okay, the middle is half inch. Okay, so now the length of the dart will be using 318. So before we get the length of the dart now, the middle of the dart, which is here, will be aligning it to the to the back dart. Okay, so once we align it, go ahead and mark the 318. Okay, so which is this. If you look at it, this is 318. So now go ahead and join both sides of that. So this is a method. Okay, this is how you do your the shoulder back dart. So now what we're doing is, before cutting out your pattern, you go ahead and fold the dart. Then you so this is what we did. This is also what we did for the front. Okay, after doing this, go ahead and withdraw the shoulder dart because some allowances are not going to be there. So after drawing the shoulder dart now, we'll go ahead using our tracing wheel to trace it. Okay, so after tracing, so do you see what I did there? So this is our new shoulder line. Okay, so we are basically done here. I'm just trying to draw my armhole. We are basically done here. Okay, so people, we are basically done here. Okay, we've completed every step, every formality. So now there's something I want to address before cutting the pattern. Okay, so before you cut your pattern like this, before you cut it, what you need to do is check out your measurements to make sure they are okay, they are in point. Okay, so now you check out your bust, your waist, your hip measurements, and all that. Okay, so another thing you need to check out for is your armhole measurement. Okay, so my armhole measurement now, my top arm measurement is 17.5. Okay, it's 17.5. That is my top arm measurement now. So let's check out what we have here on the pattern. Ten and a half for the front. We have 10.5 for the front. So continue it from the back here. I have 19.78. Okay, so 1978 arm round. This is our arm round on the pattern now is 1978. My own is 17 and a half. Okay, so 1978, 17 and a half minus 1978. I have 238. Okay, so in order to fix when you have problems like armhole being the armhole measurement here is too much or it's too big, this is how you fix it. If your armhole is too small, that's when you measure the front and back and you find out it's smaller than what you're supposed to have, you can come down and by half inch or you come down by 3/4 depending on the actual measurement in which it is bigger, in which it is smaller by. Okay, so it's advisable you come down by half inch. Then if it's still big, when you've tested out your pattern, you can know what and what to adjust. Okay, this is for when your pattern armhole round is smaller than your normal measurements. Okay, but if this armhole round here on the pattern now is bigger than your top arm measurement, this is what you do. You come up by either half inch, okay, or 1 cm, and you withdraw the lines and you come out on both sides, not only on one side. Okay, we'll be coming out on both sides. We'll be coming out on both sides. Okay, so after correcting that now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll take the measurement to see how it is. I have 10 inches here. Okay, and I have 18 3/4 inches here. Okay, so you see now we've reduced some. Okay, we've reduced some measurements there now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut it out. And when you test out your pattern, you will know where and where to adjust. Okay, so thank you once again for joining me here on this channel. Okay, so please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new tutorials. Okay, and I hope this tutorial is helpful for you. And if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section. Okay, so thank you once again, and see you in the next one.